pregame.com.
Free Monday Night Football pick from the only two-time Super Contest champion. RJ Bell here at the pregame.com studios, just off the Vegas Strip. We have Green Bay at Philadelphia. Who do you like and why?
Like Philly minus the 3.5. Green Bay has quit on the season. We all know what happened on Sunday night. It was a close game. They're hanging in there against Washington. Fourth quarter collapse. Green Bay had the win. Their defense gave up 3 50-plus yard pass plays. You could see it in the body language. This team was toast, and they had given up.
And I'll tell you this, some teams, when their back's against the wall, they pick it up. Steelers do that. I don't love Tomlin. Back against the wall, though, expect a good performance. Green Bay, they lost to the Colts. That surprised me. And now, stinker after stinker since then. I don't think Rodgers was a great leader during good times. I don't want my money on him during bad times. Agree with you 100% on that. Additionally, another negative for Green Bay, third straight road game.
Yeah, and especially with the Thanksgiving holiday, so much going on. Can you imagine the difficulty? You get punked here Sunday night. You got the holiday. Now you got to go on the road again. Beyond difficult.
Yeah, and if you look at Philadelphia, Carson Wentz, second pick, a lot of talk about him. I think there was a premium on Philly because of the excitement. I think that's dissipated. And there's an amazing stat here. I'm going to look down. Is they had, prior to the Seattle game, they had 4 straight games that their opponent was rested extra, 10 or more days of rest. And you might say, well, how unusual is that? Is at that point, there were 5 NFL teams that had no rested teams they played, and 12 NFL teams that had 1 rested team. So 17 had 1 or 0 at that point, and Philly had 4 in a row. So to me, I think it likely depressed their results in a way that people really weren't acknowledging. And then they played Seattle, and now here we are. So I think the theory is this Philly team is underrated.
Yeah, and I think especially on the road, that's where those sort of bad situational spots show up, and that could well explain why Philly has struggled so much this year on the road.
So your point is, if you have a negative like that, if you add that negative playing a rested team to being on the road, it can compound.
Absolutely.
Second main handicap.
Second handicap. At home, this Philly team has been a juggernaut. They're a perfect 4-0 straight up and against the spread, 4 blowout wins, and they've been playing some good teams, beating up on Pittsburgh, beating Atlanta, beating Minnesota, all by 2+ scores. Very impressive.
All right, so this is the eternal debate with handicappers here in Vegas, is do you focus on the short term, which you just talked about, or the long term? The long term at home, last 6 years or so, they are 38% Philly is against the spread. That's much less than 50%. How do you balance it?
Yeah, it's difficult, but we got a new head coach in Wentz. We've got a new quarterback in Wentz. We got a new head coach in Peterson. And so because of that, the historical data not nearly as significant, and the margin is so strong this year, I think it's the one-year data that's more significant.
Yeah, so when you say margin, it's one thing to cover a 7-point spread by 10. If you cover a 7-point spread by 17 or more, over time, especially with a short sample, that margin means a lot. I think that's a very good point. Let's make this baby official.
Well, let's do it. Green Bay has quit on their season. No reason to think that they're going to show up here. 3rd straight road game. And the Eagles have reclaimed their home field advantage. They're a perfect 4-0 against the spread and straight up winning by margin. The Fez math says Eagles minus 3.5. More videos at pregame.com.